Well, hello, sunshine. We're going to continue putting this Holzfforma G366 MS361 Clone together. Been a playlist up to this point. Shut up, you schnook. You can't blame him for hollering. If I had to live in a house with 30 women, I'd walk outside and scream every once in a while myself. So we're getting down to some parts. I'm going to put you guys up here again. I think that may work better for you guys seeing exactly what I'm doing. If you're needing that, let me move you. I think what we're going to start doing is getting some of these big parts out of the way so we can see what we got left. We'll get the recoil on there. Well, I better not go squirrel hunting. That old knife ain't very sharp. Good old Chinesium. Now that recoil, just surely you know how to put a recoil on, but that is what we're up to. Now there's a package of 4 bolts here, and I do believe they are just for the recoil. There's 1 long one and 3 medium length shorter ones. Now that long one's going to go right through your get my head in your way. That long one's going to go right through your brake flag. And the 3 short ones, shorter, are going to go there, and yonder. Now there's a badge that goes with that. It's down there. I ain't sure what I'm going to do with that yet. Okay. We got us a recoil on there. There's a bag that's got a couple fuel caps on it. We just well get those on there and lessen our chances of getting some stuff in there. I wasn't gonna put these on there yet because I got some better ones coming. If you guys hate these steel fuel caps, there's a little plastic doodad, and there's a channel right here and right here that those you can start that string up in there and tug that up into that hole, and that's what keeps them from dropping off into dirt so much and getting dirt in your tank and setting that down in the sawdust and everything else. They're kind of almost a little bit of a bugger that string's pretty flimsy. There you go. Just goes up in there, and then it snugs up into that little slot pretty good. Highly recommend putting those in there. That's what I hate about them. I didn't get it twisted just right, and I cammed that daggum thing over. Okay. Now, one of the next things we can do, there's a little stud in here. As soon as I get it out of the package here, I'll show you what it looks like. There's a little stud in here. That screws right into the top of that cylinder. What I usually do is double nut that. Let me get out a couple nuts. I don't have any here. I'll show you how I do it. Now what I do is I put 1 nut down there almost to the way, and then I'll run the 2nd nut down there against it and hold back up on that bottom nut with a wrench and tighten that top nut down against it. Now if you drive just the top nut, you can drive that stud down in there. And then when you back it off, instead of the nut, you can back that up and break those 2 apart, and they'll both just thread off there as pretty as you please. We got this side of the engine blocked off. We just well put us a muffler on there. And with our muffler, we've got, well, that's a little bitty opening. As I'm sitting here looking at it. They sent us 2 gaskets, and there's a heat shield in our little metal doodads. We got our metal heat shield, and it's going to go on there to that curved part is to the starter side of the saw. We'll start our bolts down through the old muffler apparatus. Slide us a gasket up on there. Slide our heat shield up on there. Now, before you tighten that down terribly tight, there's going to be another bolt that goes right in there to hold that. You got to make sure that one, you got to make sure you get a bolt started in that before you get it too snug. So we'll get that started down in there. We may have to loosen that other bolt up just a little bit. Nope, I think we're going to get her. And snug that back up. And I always like to, while I'm thinking about it, I always like to snug them up again after I get that thing started and warmed up a little bit. About the next thing I think we'll do is see if we can get us a handlebar put on there. We're about to the end gates on her, ain't we? You gotta get that shoved up in this little hole, and that essentially shoved up this little hole. And that twisted around to where it'll go in there just so. And start getting everything lined up. Now there's another bag of bolts here that's got all the bolts for that. We'll start getting our bolts put in there. Get them started good. Because we may have to wiggle it around in here a bit at the bottom. I like getting about all of them started, but not necessarily snugged down yet. Longer ones go on the side up there. The shorter ones go on the bottom, and they still got a bit of a shoulder on them. You put the longer ones in the bottom, and good chance I think you can poke a hole in your fuel tank, or your oil tank, which is probably less than desirable. All right, now if we could just get these here 2 started in that. Hey, I think it's going to start. There we go, we got them started. I think right now would be a good time to snug that sparkler plug down while we... And I had to walk off and get a wrench. That little rubber doodad there is in the way of getting a scrunch on there good. And we'll put this decomp on there. It'll probably get a decomp plug, I'm sure. But right now we're going to put it together how they gave it to us. we about ready for some top covers. Now we need to put our winter summer turnaround deal. It was in them rubber bits. That little nib right there is going to go down that rubber. That there nib's going to go down in that rubber, and that nib's going to go down in that rubber. And a little bit of oil in there for, especially as often as I'm going to take this thing apart, I assume. A little bit of oil in there ain't going to bother me any. I hope. Okay. I think she started. There, the old sparkler went down in there nice, I think. Now, we forgot us a piece, didn't we? Okay. Back up, back up, back up, back up. But that's okay. I was wondering where that went. Went to put that on, it made sense. So hopefully you guys are watching. Hopefully you're not running out to the shed just every time you see me do something. I'm catching myself a little bit. I was wondering where this one particular doodad went. I'd never seen them before. Didn't know where it went. I know where it goes now. I'm assuming I know where it goes. That little deal with splines on it is going to go in this air filter housing so that we'll have something to tighten down on. I'm going to put that over here on the bench beside him, and it's got a hole in it. That'll give me a nice place to pack that down in there. All right, I just held that over a hole over there and just pecked that down in there. Now we know where that goes. We feel better about that. I was getting kind of aggravated about that bolt, or that didn't know where it went. I thought, man, I'm going to have egg on my face. And I did, but I'm glad I didn't have to take it plumb apart to put it in there. Hopefully you guys didn't make it any farther than I did if you're watching this to learn. I'm sure I could edit that if I meant to, but I won't. And make it look like, well, I really know what I'm doing. We all know better than that. I'm a hack. I'm really not all that crazy about these air filters on these saws. But to be honest with you, I'm not that crazy about air filters on most any saw. Seems like they all leave a little bit to be desired somewhere, especially on Stihls. Husqvarnas have a pretty good reputation for being a lot better. Now we'll see if that thing will... I don't know if you have to or not. Most of the Stihls I always mess with are... Well, I think she's working. about the only thing left we got to do is put those dogs on there, and this saw is not going to get those dogs. Let me move you guys back. Well, we put a little bit of fuel in it, so let's see if she'll start. Got no idea. It's not been started. It'll take a few pulls to get fuel up to it. Well, guys, we're going to call that a success. We've got 2 parts left over. I don't know where they go yet. They're both little rubber bits. They're both little rubber baby buggy bumpers. Still don't know. May have to do some finding out. If you guys know, let me know. That one reminds me of a stud off the top, like an 026. It's got 2 studs on there. One of them keeps from rubbing that top. This one here, a little donut shaped one is. It kind of looks like that. I don't know where that one goes. If either one of you guys know, I don't know. Them's probably not important enough to keep the saw from running, but I don't know. It's together, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you. If I earned her, give her the old hitchhiker. If I didn't, my show Julius Caesar. Consider subscribing. You want to see these things. We got us some test mules now to put on dyno, so I'll probably let this one here and the other one. I got 2 of them. Probably let them run at least just set out in the yard and vibrate all day today. Give them a tank each. Appreciate it, guys. Thank you.